All right, boom. We're gonna retry this. We had to end the recording for undisclosed reasons, but welcome to. You can say it now.
NDZ. What's that stand for, Thomas?
Said it so weird.
NDZ. NDZ.
No drill zone.
Welcome to No Drill Zone. You don't like putting the on the title.
I like the way you just said it. You just delivered it really well. Your voice got a little deep and smooth at the end there.
Yeah, that's good. What I'm talking about. I think my voice has gotten better with age, so you're welcome, everybody. We are the predominant premier pickleball podcast.
Your voice has gotten better with age because Zane and I have been watching Survivor, the
season 18.
Season 18.
Have you been watching too?
I just watched like part of the first. I just don't have time.
Yeah, but you're a student.
I was planning on, cranking through it, and I know Zane is making his way through it. But on that, back then, whenever that was, I don't know how many years ago was that.
Almost 15 years ago.
So
2008, 2009.
Definitely higher back then.
Was it really?
Yeah, your voice was definitely higher. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably having kids, aging 15 years, all of that is going to take its toll on my voice, give us some more timbre. Is that what you would say? Timbre? I don't know.
Tenor?
No, not Tanner. It's definitely not Tanner. It's
tenor. Tenor.
Timber. I think it's timber.
Can you define it?
Here we go.
I don't even know what you're trying to say. Tenor, like 10, like the number .
No,
not Tanner. Yeah, I think it's tenor. That's the only thing I can think of that has to do with like sound and music and tones.
Timbre, Timbre, is the quality of auditory sensations produced by the tone of a sound wave.
Interesting.
There you go. You learned your thing today. Now you have to teach me something, which is always a struggle for you, but we'll find something.
I have something, and I thought of it right as we started recording because I was looking at the lineup for the APP tournament this weekend, which is the Punta Gorda Open or
Boca
something.
Raton?
Right? It's in Punta Gorda.
Wherever that is.
Florida.
Sure. I guess I learned something today too.
There you go. But what I was going to say, and I was going to talk about, was the fact that like, as I'm looking through the line, so obviously the PPA is in Minnesota as well, the Indoor National Championships.
Yeah. Quick question. Do people enjoy playing the indoor stuff? Like, are these pros looking forward to playing because it's a different ball, right? It's a different surface. Is that
I don't
exciting?
know. I don't think it's a different ball.
Because indoor would dictate that it's an indoor surface with an indoor ball, right? Because even if it's an indoor court with an outdoor surface and an outdoor ball, that's not necessarily indoor by definition.
I mean, I think they're just playing with Duras, and it's indoor
on an outdoor surface.
I mean, I don't know what the surface is.
I mean, if the surface is we need the facts right now, Thomas. Do you have an insider over there?
I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody cares about this. I think the big impact.
I think people do care about that. I've been to indoor tournaments that have played with a different ball because the surface was a glossy concrete finish.
Yeah, but they're not playing with. I'm telling you that they're not playing with a different ball. I just don't know what the surface is.
Well, the surface will have to be outdoor too, because the reason you don't play an outdoor ball on a glossy cement surface is because it will skid so much it won't even bounce.
Got it.
That's why people ever play with indoor balls is because they grab that really slick surface. Okay, so nobody cares about that. I still disagree. I think that was a great question by me. And moving on, what were you going to say?
Well, the last thing I'll bring up about indoor, since we're talking about it, is it definitely impacts the way, just the way the game is played in general. It's like
no wind, no
Yeah,
other elements. Everything is just down to your perfection. And I've also noticed that when I shift to indoors, it's actually weird
it's weird.
to
Yeah.
not have any wind effect on the ball, any outside variables. It really is like, that's like, I don't think a lot of people, maybe a lot of people do understand that, but it's, unless, like, I prefer to play outside with mostly perfect conditions than to play inside with no conditions at all, because I'm probably just not trained for like zero conditions. But it's like, if there's no effect on the ball from outside variables, then like I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah, it's weird. I think the ball moves faster, but like if you play a lot of basketball and you go to a gym that where like behind the basketball net, there's not a wall, but it's like it's more open gym, and you don't have that backdrop, for example. It's one of those weird things where like your depth perception gets thrown off and all of a sudden you're just shooting air balls. It's sort of like these weird unintended consequences that you just don't foresee, but it's like there's a lot of intangible changes when you change the environment like that. Speaking of unintended consequences, dude, this is going to be such a good segue. This was the point.
Ooh.
This was my original point.
Okay.
About the fact that they're playing indoor in Minnesota and they're playing
with outdoor balls.
Florida. No, no. Just the fact that there's 2 tournaments going on in 2 different places.
Okay. Carry on.
The way you just nodded. I don't know why I found that so entertaining. But the APP, I was actually like reading through men's doubles, for example, still kind of like a stacked tournament, like a lot of good talent. Like a lot of good talent.
Are you like surprised?
Yeah, I guess. And this was everybody's fear was like the PPA is just going to steal all the players. And it's like, no, the PPA has all the players that they want. And the APP is still running a tournament with pretty good talent, in my opinion. So sort of, I think that's like a good sign. It also requires that the APP put these players that maybe weren't as known kind of on a pedestal and start to market them better. Like this Brandon, I mean, saying his last name is impossible. Like Nepsong, or let me just, I was just looking at it.
Okay. I don't even know who you're talking about, but that's because they haven't been hyping him enough.
Brandon Sekpong. It's Nsekpong. He does some stuff with Duper. Okay. He's like a big athletic looking dude, and he's been playing a lot of pro singles and doubles lately, training
like
a lot.
Big strong muscles.
Yeah, he plays it. He just looks like an athlete. He plays at Dreamland, and I saw him in some of like the marketing promo for this APP tournament this weekend. Cool. And I was like, good for him. I know he just signed with, he just signed a deal with, well, I don't want to say the wrong company, but
don't get it wrong.
Yeah, he did just, sign his first pro contract too. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if he were to try and go make it on the PPA tour, they probably wouldn't even mention him. On the APP tour, it's like, let's market this guy like he's an up and comer. And I just think that's good for the sport. We're going to create more personalities. More people are going to find their window and be able to kind of just get their foot in the door and make their progress as pros and hopefully get to a point where they're doing it full time. So I think
more personalities, or do you think that all pro pickleball players share the same personality?
There's a lot of weirdos, and there's a lot of
not my words.
Dude, pickleballers are weird people. We're weird people.
It is true.
Let's just talk about all of us right now. Collectively, we're pretty dang weird.
When I first started sharing pickleball on my Instagram like 2 years ago, I got so many messages that were like, if you would have said Tyson and pickleball, I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense, but I never would have guessed it for myself. Like, it was like, you're quirky enough, Tyson, that the pickleball thing definitely like adds up. So yeah, I get it. But I think that is a good sign too, to what you said, because it shows that there is depth enough for more than one association to exist, which is good news for the pros. It's good news for the fans. It's good news for the sport. And maybe we were a little harsh on the PPA signing these 3-year deals. What do you think?
I wasn't. I was never harsh.
I was.
Yeah.
I was a little.
Yeah. People still, I'm still get like, we sent out our newsletter and some guy responded like, what the PPA doing is going to like, no, it's not. It's just not. Like everything these people, the PPA, MLP, APP, Dundon, all these different parties, they all have the same goal. It's grow and advance the sport, particularly at the pro level. Everything that they're doing is going to be good. And nothing that's happened yet has been detrimental to the sport, despite everybody causing a stir and freaking out in pickleball forum.
Right. I don't think that's their only goal. Obviously there's competition there. Why
That's
wouldn't
not their
one
only
want to,
goal, but it
why
is
wouldn't one want to
it is a
squash out
goal.
the other? Like their other goals are to definitely like
Make money,
minimize their competition. And
Sure.
which is the stance I was taking more so. But in doing so and in trying to advance it and pouring money and winning people over, they're accelerating the advancement of the sport. So if all of these places exist and they're all thriving, then the sport is just going to grow that much faster.
I agree. And here's my pick for the APP men's doubles, just because I'm looking at the list.
Okay.
I almost want to go back on my decision already. I was going to say DJ Young and Adam Stone.
Okay.
Which is an interesting pairing. But here's some other interesting pairings.
Is Deckel there?
He's playing with Kyle Yates. I just looked at that. I was like, they're probably going to.
Why is he playing with Yates instead of Adam Stone? I thought that Deckel and Stoney had like a real connection.
Great question.
They were so much fun.
Deckel did just text us, by the way.
Uh-huh.
So remember at the end of last episode where he was like, if you have Zane on again, just have me on for like 5 minutes so I can say that I was the first like three-peat.
Yeah.
So when I sent you the invite to get on the stream, I accidentally texted it to Deckel.
Yeah.
In our group chat, and he responded, as long as it's not Zane. He just wanted to make sure that we weren't having Zane on before.
Yeah. Do we want to have him on here for 5 minutes so we can ask him why he's playing with Kyle Yates instead of Adam Stone, or is that too touchy of a subject?
Well, he's
too fresh.
He's probably out in Punta Gorda, like on the courts right now.
Get him on his phone. Yeah, that's fine.
But I'm going to text him. Why aren't you playing with Adam?
Yeah. Yates is fun too. Yates and Adam would maybe be a quite volatile pair. That would be a lot of fun to watch. Okay, that's interesting. So now who are you saying? Now are you saying
Althoff and Zane? Althoff and Zane are a great pairing. They know each other's games really well. So
yeah,
they could just as likely win it.
Althoff also, I told you I saw him last weekend. And I made the joke because it was the PPA here and Althoff was walking around and he didn't see me yet. So I was behind him and I was like, it's crazy that Zane is here and he's hiding from his former partner and playing with somebody else. And Althoff turned around and he's like, and he's like, and the guy I was talking to was like, really? And I was like, no, this is his real. And Althoff's like, he doesn't come to these PPAs right now. And he's like, you get me on the podcast, I will give you all the dirt on Zane. Althoff.
And that's when you texted me.
And then I texted you. I said, Althoff just told us.
Let's get him on. He's funny. Let's get him
super
on.
Funny. Yeah. Okay. I look forward to that. Stay tuned every week until we have Althoff on here.
Yeah, agreed. And in the meantime, can you guys subscribe? I want to know if people are enjoying watching it on YouTube, because we didn't really care about YouTube. And now the YouTube seems to be doing pretty well. Like here and there, some episodes do better than others, but I think people like watching it. So if you are watching it, subscribe.
Could we create a poll somewhere that would show us? I mean, we may as well do it all. Why not?
I think we might have like two different audiences because
give the people what they want.
Yeah. I like YouTube though, because like comments on the videos, and we like hear from our listeners more, and I like that.
And there may be a time where we actually do offer this exact stream live, real time, and then people will be able to comment to us, and we'll be able to see their comments as we're recording, which will be
I think we
a
will.
lot of fun.
I think we'll do that.
A Patreon only feed.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Everything's on the table.
Everything's on the table.
Hey, are you going to ask me why I have a mic and about this cool chair?
Oh no! Are you kidding me? I texted you. So we were on social media earlier this week, and one of our fans and friends of the show started harassing. Oh, I posted a picture of me and Thomas Wilson. I said one of the top Thomases in pickleball. At which point, people started coming for your jugular. And is that fair to say?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. They were putting you in your place and probably not making you feel great about who you are as far as the Thomases go in pickleball. And but it's all in good fun. And one of our fans harassed you about not having your stuff yet.
Yeah, that was the most personal of the attack. That's where I really
very
felt.
Deep cut. Yeah,
that was not cool.
And
I got it. I have
so jokes not on you. You have it all.
So a month and 22 days after it shipped, I received my stuff here in Austin, Texas.
Did you know it was on its way, or did it just show up randomly?
It was pretty random. Like, I got the call and they were like, we're going to be there in hours. And I was like,
and were you like just openly weeping from the moment you got the phone call to the moment the stuff arrived? What was your reaction?
I have learned to desensitize myself to when things are out of my control. It's like, why worry? Like, and so that's kind of the approach I took. So I was like, all right, cool. Like,
there's lessons to that in pickleball as well, probably.
Sure. Yeah.
Some things are out of your control, like waiting an hour and a half between games or any of it. Okay. So you got all your stuff, everything in good order? Nothing damaged?
Now I have 2 couches. So I put one on my balcony, and
very cool.
I was going to record the podcast out there because it was like 75 degrees 2 days ago, and now it's like 30 degrees.
Dude, we got snow here yesterday. Arizona.
What is going on?
It was
what is happening?
41 as the high yesterday.
And so one of our employees, Kim, she lives in Massachusetts. It's 70 degrees in Massachusetts. It's 30 degrees in Texas.
Are we living in a crazy town here? What's going on?
I don't know, dude. I don't know, man.
That's okay. I appreciate the cold from time to time, as long as it's only 41 degrees in Phoenix. Okay, so you got your stuff. You have a balcony couch now, which is, I mean, that's how well you're doing.
It's actually pretty awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I was going to say like a double-decker couch. Like you could like put one couch on stilts above the other couch. So then you could have like stadium seating to watch TV.
Like we're in college?
Yeah, fine. Sure. Yeah. I didn't go to a lot of college
to put it on.
Okay. I've been to houses like that. My idea is not very unique.
Yeah. That's an all time. Yeah. All right. Did you hear about this pickleball conspiracy thing?
I saw a pickleball conspiracy thing, and then I'm assuming it's linked to all the pickleball articles that came out at the same time.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, but what I didn't realize, so this is Gawker Media. Do you know Gawker?
Yes.
Gawker was the one that it was a media company. It's kind of like a BuzzFeed. They went bankrupt. Why? Because Peter Thiel, part of the PayPal mafia, prolific investor, he's gay, and he was in the closet.
Okay.
Gawker received information that he was gay, outed him before Peter wanted to come out.
Correct.
And for years held that grudge, but nobody knew he was holding a grudge.
Okay.
So one day, Gawker, they posted content from like a Hulk Hogan salacious tape, we'll call it.
Okay.
And without Hulk Hogan's
of sexual
permission,
natures.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And Peter Thiel was like, that's my opportunity. So he basically helped fund Hulk Hogan's lawsuit, and it bankrupted Gawker like a decade after the whole initial incident.
Okay. And what does
So
this have to do with pickleball?
wild story, right? But
Mm-hmm.
Gawker, what I'm saying is Gawker is sort of like this media company that's often involved in these scandals because they do everything for clicks.
Yep.
Now, I didn't even realize it, but I don't know, like last spring, they wrote an article about what they were calling like big pickleball because there was a lot of press back then. And they were like, where's all this pickleball coming from? Like, it's all over reality TV. They were talking about how it's on Vanderpump Rules, right? Which is Randall Emmett and Lala Kent. We had just gone to Randall's house and played pickleball there.
Which
And
was right after you came and played pickleball with me in Arizona.
mhm,
So I was
mhm.
your first.
And
Okay.
they were writing about how it was so random that these guys were just able to like go to like they clearly got paid. This is clearly like some sort of like deep-seated conspiracy to like profit from pickleball, like these Hollywood elite. Okay. Fast forward to a couple days ago where it's like New York Times, BBC, The Guardian, The Times, all these massive publications, like in an instant, to weirdly, I will say, but they all kind of tend to just like repeat each other, right? These big
Yeah.
publications. It's
Yeah.
like you don't want to
It's
miss a
weird though.
story.
Yeah.
And all these stories come out at the same time. And so here comes Gawker again. It's like this one woman at Gawker who's like talking about this big like pickleball conspiracy. And she's like, this is further evidence. And there's this blog, The Dink. And I wrote about how they were playing at Randall and Lala's house. And so now I'm like, so I'm sort of like wrapped up in this conspiracy theory about how apparently big pickleball's mission is to either revive the Olympics ratings
Mm-hmm.
or, and I believe this was a joke. I think it was a joke, or it's some sort of like Russian funded project. So
Okay. That's very
that is
weird.
yeah. And then there was this like pro tennis Twitter account
Yeah.
that was like tweeting at us being like, where are you getting your funding? Like, so I said lemonade stands. I don't know.
you responded to him.
Yeah, I said lemonade stands, lots and lots of lemonade stands.
I would have responded and just been like, I don't know. I get a check every month, but I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, I honestly, I cannot tell
Who's
if
joking and
all of
who's real?
yes,
Yeah, that's the best. You have to treat it
that's the
like a
biggest
joke,
thing. Yeah,
and you have to, because if you treat it like a joke and they're joking, then they're like, okay, this guy's smart, he's on it. But if they're serious and you're treating it like a joke, their heads are going to explode. They're going to be like, he's getting a check from an anonymous person every month that's just like pushing the movement forward.
yeah,
What is going on? I mean, this is like, and I said this on my other podcast where we cover news stories. I said that pickleball is the new Bitcoin because it's going so fast and there's so much hype on it and stuff. And if in that sense, and that was totally a joke, but in that sense, if you compare the two, like there's the early arrival to Bitcoin, and the people who are arriving early are seeing some articles about Bitcoin. They're reading articles, they're researching it. But the more they do that, the more it pushes that news to the forefront. And eventually it gets to the point where there's articles every day about Bitcoin, and pickleball is following that similar trajectory where it's like people are searching out pickleball, they're looking at pickleball, they're playing pickleball, and they're, doing all these things. So it stands to reason that news outlets would see that is happening and pick up stories on it. Like,
yeah,
how could it not? So that's, I mean, probably just, me thinking of what is that, Murphy's Law or whatever. No, Murphy's Law is anything wrong is going to happen. This is the simplest and most clear explanation is probably the right explanation. I don't know what theory that is, but that is how it is. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Give me 1 second. I need to just.
What are you doing? I'm going to take a pee break.
All right, whatever. Okay.
Well, you're cutting this out, right?
I wasn't going to, but I mean, we might as well go to the bathroom.
Okay. I may as well. I thought you were going to the bathroom. I was like, he's going to the bathroom without me, and I have to go. I've been sitting here like I need to get a toilet chair so that I can just. You would? You'd be honest with me. Okay, I'll be right back because I'll be I'm really good right now, but I'll be even better after I relieve myself.
Okay. Deco responded.
Okay.
He said that just originally Adam wasn't going to play this tournament, and then he decided last second to play it, but he had already paired with Kyle. So,
okay, so that makes sense. Just a misunderstanding there. Good. I'm glad we'll see him back, but I'm also excited to see these guys play.
Yeah, no, I like that pairing.
Yeah.
I like what happened. I like Adam playing with DJ, and I like Deco playing with Kyle. I think actually that's going to be pretty interesting. So singles is today at the PPA, and there's no Ben Johns. There's no J Dub, so I assume J Dub is over at the APP.
APP could be. I did see Tyson McGuffin like just a couple days ago. He was still in Arizona after the PPA down here, and I bumped into him at the pickleball courts, but like not planned. And he said that he was on his way to Minneapolis, so he's up there singles, and he's been good. Like he's fit. He just seems like he's making progress on his game to maybe topple the stronghold of Johns at some point. But yeah, so I know he's up there.
I mean, you could say now I'm looking at this men's pro singles at the APP.
You think it's more stacked than the PPA?
Yeah. So Ben's not playing in the PPA.
Well, the singles specialists are mostly not contracted by the PPA. Like the guys who really focus on singles, Zane.
Well, Ben Tyson, you have Ben, Tyson, and Jay are.
Correct.
And that's right there. You could say that's like top three.
Maybe.
Debate. You could
Zane.
definitely, right. It's definitely debatable because you have J-Dub, you have Zane.
It's not even debatable. Those are not the top three in any definitive sense of top three.
Well, like, so
if you three of the top players.
I'm saying if you were at a bar with your buddy and it was like you guys were having the debate, it wouldn't be crazy to make the argument. Right?
Sure. But it's also like they're three of the top 10. Definitely. They're three of the top 8. Yes. But are they the 1, 2, and 3 spot? 1, okay, Johns, sure. But we have Zane. We've seen him beat Tyson many times. We've seen Zane beat Jay. We've seen JW take gold medals. So I think you're right. I think it's like, and maybe it's the singles thing. Like maybe APP just do only singles, but a bunch of it. No, I don't know. Probably. I
mean, that listen. Like, here's one comment that I get on a lot of our social media. It's like every time we put out a good singles highlights, they're like, show more singles, like show more singles. People love watching singles. And I never realized that because I wasn't much of a singles player. So I gravitated toward doubles and I never even thought about singles for like the first year I was in pickleball. And then now I'm like actually pretty interested in it and it's fun to play.
I enjoy playing
really
singles
fun
too.
to watch.
I started playing singles, but
it's a great workout. It's a sneaky, really good workout.
Yeah, it is. But this is like the difference here. When you're watching the highlights, the doubles almost always ends in a ridiculous firefight of volley war. Like bam, 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 slow down, bam, 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 until somebody gets it. Yeah. Awesome. Singles, to win that point against two great players, you have to have a shot that hits a dime. Like that is the shot, and that's awesome to watch them go back and forth. So much running, so much spinning around. You got the tweeners, you got all that stuff happening, and then you see a shot that's like the perfect cross-court shot that hits the corner. You got the perfect like ATP from like long range. There's like all these different shots that you don't necessarily see as much in doubles because everybody's just at the kitchen line volleying. So I agree. I like that. And maybe that's the way to go. Like, let's do an all singles tour and a doubles tour and focus on the two. I predicted earlier, I think when we first started doing the podcast, that as the sport progresses and becomes more serious, it's going to be more like tennis, where you're going to have these singles and doubles specialists. And you're going to have to, for the most part, unless you're a wonder kid, focus on one or the other.
I think it could move that direction. We'll see.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but so stacked in Punta Gorda. It's gonna be a good day of pickleball there.
Good weekend.
I don't know. The schedule's a little bit different with the APP. I'm not sure when singles is. Let's see. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. What's the next event you're going to be at in person? Do you have any plans? No plans yet? Okay.
Yeah, I know. Well, Major League Pickleball, they keep switching it up. Just given all the changes, I was pretty sure that they were going to have an event next week or next month, but I'm not sure if that's the case. But I'll definitely be at the next Major League Pickleball whenever they decide to do that.
Oh yeah, I mean, you live so close there.
But yeah, I'm playing pickleball tonight, dude, for the first time.
For the first time
since when? In Austin. Like, I haven't played since before the new year, maybe.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Aren't I kind of a fraud, dude?
No, you're just getting busy, dude. A new life change and stuff.
So busy.
So I have good predictions for you. You're either going to be just like on fire, not even going to understand why all your shots are so money, or you're going to be a complete failure and hit everything into the net.
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to find out.
It's going to be one of those two. Because, you know, sometimes that's how golf goes, you know, skip 6 months and then come back and you just like cannot miss.
Yeah, that's because, yes, that's how I am. I have to step away from golf and then I'll show up to the course and I'll be like, why don't I play more?
Yeah.
As soon as I start playing more, it's like an absolute nosedive.
Yeah. I should take this more serious.
I've hit my ceiling. Yeah.
So maybe that's how I think sports like this, where it's not necessary, it's not athleticism based per se, it's more eye-hand coordination and stuff like that. Sometimes you can just like take a break and come back and be on fire for a week or a couple sessions before you like sink back into like your regular. But I'm also playing tonight. I'm very excited. Pickleball league at the Legacy? Bell Bank. Yeah. We have like 70 guys playing in a 4-0 league.
Dude, Phoenix pickleball is crazy. I was talking about this with somebody yesterday, specifically Phoenix.
Yeah.
Which is why I asked you to make that introduction that you made. We've got something, we're cooking something up for Phoenix.
Am I going to be invited?
You will be.
Okay.
You will be. You may even play an integral role, given the plan that yeah, no, what we're planning is really cool. I just don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, no, definitely. You don't want somebody to take your idea and run with it. Cool. Yeah.
And people will, as we've seen in pickleball, everybody copies each other.
Who are you playing with tonight? You got a good lineup? Anybody we know, or are you just
I'm playing over at Dreamland. I know that I'm playing with Brooks Wiley, who's duper Major League Pickleball guy.
Okay.
I think he's the president of Major League Pickleball now.
Sure.
But yeah. And I was gonna play with Steve Kuhn, who is the CEO of Major League Pickleball, but he canceled. So I'm playing with Brooks and then a couple of people that I'm not sure. So I don't know what type of game I'm gonna be getting. We'll see.
Okay. Well, you'll have fun regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. And then after that, I am locked down for 3 days because I have an accounting exam on Monday.
I'm looking for a new accountant.
If I pass,
Let
we
me
can have a
know.
conversation and
Okay.
yeah.
Do you think that's good that I would have my friend and business partner also then operate my finances for me, or is that bad?
Well, at least I'll be straight with you.
Okay. Good. What I need you to do is find all the loopholes.
Yeah. Okay. We can do
So
that.
cool. What else we got going on? PPA indoor with outdoor balls. What predictions do you have there?
PPA picks.
Yeah.
Can I just repeat all my picks from last week?
From last week? Did all your picks win last week?
No. I think I went 4 for 5, 3 for 5.
Yeah.
Here's what I think is interesting is I wish Simone would come back and play more. I understand her. She had injuries and stuff like that. But if you just think about 1 year ago, Simone was like untouchable. She
Okay.
was the queen. And she's just kind of like taking a step back. So she's slowly dropping in the rankings. So if we're looking at like women's doubles, it's Lucy, then Catherine, then Simone, then Jessie, then Callie.
What was
And
Simone's Simone? What was Simone's full injury? What is it? Simone?
Simone.
What was Simone's what was the extent of her injuries?
It was something with her knee. It's not like she's like broke something. It was
Right.
I think it's just I don't know. I'm not sure. She never really like said exactly what it is. I think it was a multitude of things though stemming from a knee issue. But all right. So my pick for women's doubles, I'm going Catherine and Jessie because they will win one of these against Lucy and Callie here eventually. The Waters, again, they could sneak in at any moment, but I'm going with Catherine and Jessie this time around.
Okay.
Men's singles, I'm gonna go Jay Devilliers just because we haven't seen a medal in singles or get a gold medal in singles in a little while. He's overdue. If it's not him, it's gonna be Tyson.
Yeah.
Mixed doubles. Listen, Ben and Annalie are untouchable right now, so you'd be a moron to have to try and bet against them. And
which for me is like, I know there's such a big advantage to being tall in this game. And Ben isn't particularly tall. And Annalie,
he's not small though. People don't talk about him and Colin are both not. They're not like small. I don't know. Maybe pushing 6 foot. He's like 6'1".
I mean, anybody looks tiny to me,
and he's stocky too.
Sure, but then Annalie is petite, and she's
not small. I mean, like
no, like you wouldn't see her.
Perenna.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like, I think that people are giving height to. Sure, there is an advantage to it. You can use it as an advantage. There's probably disadvantages to it too, but like these. Yeah, I mean, some of them are like 5.5. Some of these players are 5.5 feet tall, and they're still able to reach and get stuff that like a taller player, like for some reason, like that always. I'm always like, they're so small. How are they reaching that all the way over? I think if pickleball really keeps progressing, do you think there'll be a time where the people with the longest wingspans, that will just be like, they'll gravitate to pickleball?
Yeah, if it gets to a point where like the real athletes come in. Yeah. I mean, there's athletes, but like when the real athletes come in who are like training every day, they're on pro, like they're really putting every ounce of energy into being the best possible pickleball player and in peak physical condition. Like if the sport gets to that point where they can dedicate that time to their preparation and doing pickleball full time, like I think we'll definitely see physicality play more of a role, size generally play more of a role, and everybody will look like Jay, right?
Yeah, I tend to agree, but I also do not think it will get to that point fully ever. And this is why, because I haven't talked about being a pro cyclist in a long time, right? It's been a couple weeks.
So you have some, okay. Go. Yeah. So I think we could allot you like 30 seconds of cyclist talk here.
In the US, it's the big three. If you are a pure athlete, you're probably playing basketball, football, or if you're lazier, baseball. Like that's like, right? Is that correct? That was just a truck backing up that you heard. Do you agree with that though?
No, there's a ghost in here.
Ooh.
Like if you notice the camera angle change, it's because this automatic desk, the standing desk, is just going up and down. I don't know what it's doing. Oh my goodness. And that's what was beeping. Sorry.
So do you agree the big three in the US, and it's been the big three since we've been alive, since even before that, decades and decades and decades, is American football, basketball, and if you don't really want to be like, and baseball, right? Those are where the athletes are going.
What's your point? So you're just like that's
pickleball's not working itself into that to take the cream of the crop if there is someone who is super duper athletic.
That's true.
Coming through the system.
That's true.
Europe, people would always ask me that. They always say, you're so tall for a cyclist. But in Europe, the big sports are honestly soccer or cycling. If you are an athlete, you're going cycling or soccer. And so like when I race in Europe, lots of big riders, there's lots of tall guys, lots of athletic guys. And it's different than cycling in the US where it's the smaller, thinner, wiry, petite guys that are the cyclists because that's where they can thrive versus in Europe where everybody wants to be a cyclist.
Yeah. I think physicality will play more of a role. I don't think it will dictate who dominates the sport, right?
Right.
Like, but it will, average size, I think, will like increase. But at the same time, you look at tennis players, they're all pretty like, thin dudes. They're like,
you have to be fast.
They're all like wiry, right?
You have to be so fast in tennis, and you have to be fast in pickleball. But like, I think we're not to that point yet where pros are looking and saying, what will give me a 1% increase in my game? Okay, I'll do that. Like what will give me, because every 1% increase is going to be an extra 3 hours a week of work or 4 hours a week of work. And eventually, like at some point, like, is it worth it to gain that 1% for an extra 5 hours a week when I'm already dedicating 60 hours to this thing? It's going to have to, because that's where we're heading with this competition. You said it yourself. We've got the APP is looking as stacked or more stacked than the PPA. It's just going to get more and more competitive from there.
I do think height and wingspan will play a big role though, because the ability to like Ernie more easily puts a lot of pressure on opponents,
and reach into the kitchen too, being able to reach over that line in the no volley zone.
I was going to say, but more importantly, reaching into the kitchen.
Yeah.
And if you can cut off that, but how are you going to dink with somebody who can,
Yeah. Well, I play
a good illustration by the way.
Yeah, it was. I liked it. Reach. I like it. Like for me, I play with two brother-in-laws that are both taller than me. One of them is probably as tall as me, 6'3", 6'4". The other one's taller than that. And your third shot drop has to have no arc on it and barely skim the top of the net. Otherwise, they are firing it back. So whenever I play with people who aren't that tall, they're like, yeah, you just like arc your third shot a little bit more. I was like, I can't, because then I play with my brother-in-laws. I can't have it arc that much because they're just going to reach it and smash it back at me. So I agree. And I came up with a business idea, Thomas. Maybe you want to hold on to your chair here for a second.
Okay.
Let's talk to a company that could create a supplement that increases your wingspan.
Okay. I like this one. Last week you pitched that whole strategy thing. I was on board. This one, I'm on board.
Yes.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. You just whip. Yeah, it's so obvious too, right? It's like you just whip up a supplement. You just whip it up.
Yep.
You Google the ingredients. What increases wingspan?
Sure. Yes.
Throw it all in there. You throw it in one of those little shaker bottles, right?
Yep.
And we have our prototype, and then
from there,
I think it's a hit.
Talk to the FDA, get it all approved. I like it. And then I could come with an exercise program where you're like dangling from one arm or whatever you got to do. But I like it. I think, this is exciting to be in the sport of pickleball right now. When we've got these supplements coming out and stuff.
I think we could go the supplement route, or so there's like in California, there's like a lot of droughts right now. So there's a lot of farming equipment that's going unused. So there's probably like a lot of tractors sitting there idly. What if we were to take those tractors, put ropes on the end of them, and then take people and tie their arms to the tractors?
I think
and
you
then
have to
slowly drive the tractors away. Obviously, we don't want to rip anybody's arms off, but that's a pretty foolproof way to increase wingspan as well. And it also puts to use dormant farming equipment and could revitalize some of these farms that are suffering from the droughts in California. What do you think about that?
I mean, we'd definitely have to talk to the Farmers Association of America. But
that's going to be the hiccup, getting approval from the Farmers Association. Got it. Yeah. No, I agree.
But I also had another idea, because obviously these are far-fetched ideas to increase wingspan. This is kind of far-fetched, but I feel like we could do it. What
by the way, if this idea is too good, we're going to have to cut this section so that nobody takes it and runs with it. So go ahead.
Around your hips, you have like a boom system that has a counterweight hanging behind you. So you can lean 3 feet forward into the kitchen at like a 45-degree angle, and then pull back without ever stepping into the kitchen.
Yeah, I like that. What about like just putting a diving board right there, and you can just go out on
overhead? I think that would be against the rules, but I bet if you showed up with some type of counterweight system initially, there's nothing in the rules. Like this is Zane Navratil's new thing.
Yeah,
he's like, okay, I can't do the spinny serve anymore, the chainsaw, but I can wear this boom counterweight system for me to lean into the kitchen an extra 3 feet.
We're talking loopholes here.
Yeah,
I like it. This is all good stuff.
It's really great stuff.
This is why you tune into NDZ.
NDZ.
We do have to figure out whether or not we're going to change that name officially.
Yeah, to PicklePod or NDZ, the premier and predominant pickleball podcast.
The premier and predominant, formerly PicklePod podcast.
Yes. Cool. Do we have anything else? I mean, did you drink your Relight this morning?
I did last night.
Yeah.
I've been using it as like, because it's like sweet, you know? Like if I'm like, I just had dinner and I'm like,
you have a hankering.
Like I should go get like a cupcake. It's like,
I
just drink a little Relight.
Yeah. The electrolytes on it actually have been proven, like the sodium in there, have been proven to curb your appetite for sugar. I'll tell you what I've been using from Relight, because they have like a wide array of things. They have a pre-workout, they have a boost, which has caffeine in it. They have an immunity, which has turmeric and ginger root in it.
I told you this, the boost, it's a boost.
Yeah, it gives you a boost.
It's not a junior varsity boost. It's a varsity boost.
Yeah, full on varsity, maybe even NCAA Division I boost. And then what I've been using, because I've been getting sore, is they have a muscle recovery mix that has electrolytes, but it also has branch chain amino acids, the BCAAs, which your muscles need to recover. And I've been taking that every night that I am feeling sore, and that has made a huge difference. So if you want to try any of the Relight products, you can go to their website and use Pickleball as the code for 15% off of everything. And I swear by it, like 10 times more electrolytes than other leading brands. Hydration shouldn't be a puzzle. Relight's figured it out.
That was good. Hydration shouldn't be a puzzle.
Yeah.
That was good.
Thank you.
Nice little slogan. Was that you or is that Relight?
That was me.
All right. You should come up with our NDZ slogan.
I already did.
What is it?
The Predominant Pickleball Podcast.
Got it. Okay. We'll talk about that one.
The Voices of Pickleball.
I like that one.
Yeah. Then let's do that.
That's what we are. I like the
voice of Pickleball. Voice. Well, we are collectively one, like the Trinity is one. And so I think that, yes, the voice of Pickleball would also work.
Can you put me in touch with Relight? I would love to pitch them this concept for a wingspan supplement I've been working on.
Yes. Yeah, I will talk to them and see what we can come up with. We're 50-50 partners in that, though, right?
We'll see.
I came up with the idea. Now we don't know. Replay the tape.
Forum.
That's true. Does that mean that I don't have?
That's why I said anymore? If the idea is good enough,
there's a time stamp on it, and it's me coming up with it initially. So I feel like I have some legal footing. It doesn't matter, Thomas, because what's happening here as we play this is that other people are going to try and be first to market with the wingspan supplement, and we'll have to work as a team to combat them.
True.
So what else we got going? Anything else?
No, that actually is that's it. I'm excited to play tonight.
Dude, I'm looking forward to it too. Pickleball is the sport. I've always said that when people interview me. I've never not looked forward to it.
Yeah. You know, you're always pumped. Yeah.
Yeah. Like people will be like, hey, you want to go hiking? And there's moments where I'm like, no, but I should get outside. Pickleball is always like, yes, I'll do everything to adjust my schedule to go out and play. So with that being said, Thomas, enjoy your evening and let us know if you are on fire, absolutely, or if you've lost your touch.
Okay. In my head, sorry, I was thinking of sign-offs that we could do.
You were for NDZ?
Yeah, because we're going to come out with a new name and we're going to have a sign-off that's like decent.
Okay. I mean, I like to try to allude to either the name of the podcast or the signature of the podcast, but neither one of those really is a clear opening for a sign off. We'll just have to I don't know, figure it out. Do you have one? Do you have one in your mind? Have you been workshopping any right now?
No.
Maybe our listeners can come up with one for us.
Hopefully.
Get out there and dink around. Something like that.
We did have some listeners. We did have some listeners suggest some names, by the way. We can go over those next episode. And if you do have a name?
Yeah.
You're kind of already decided on NDZ, but
our friends at PicklePlay, Blake, who is the owner there, she said we should try to get the actual word pickleball in the title. But I think if we have it as Pickleball's premiere or Pickleball's predominant podcast as the little title underneath NDZ, then that's also acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll keep workshopping. The important part is it's still Thomas and I, and we're not going anywhere. Thank you so much for tuning in and for all the love. Be sure to share with your friends. Utilize any of the ideas we gave you because that's what you get for listening to this free content we put out each and every week. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. Subscribe on whatever podcatcher you're using to listen to us. Get on the Dink and subscribe to the newsletter.
Nice.
And we'll see you out on the courts.
See ya.